The buy now sell now lens, and today we're going to be focusing on the defense counters as Defense Acquisition Council has approved a slew of proposals to bolster India's defense sector. A total of 9 acquisition proposals totaling 45,000 crores. Let's get in more details. Which are the companies involved and what does it mean for all these companies? Lisa is joining us with all the details. Take it away, Lisa.
Right. So over the weekend, we saw big news coming in for the defense sector. The DAC, that is the Defense Acquisition Council, they accorded proposals worth rupees 45,000 crore. And this is across Navy, Army as well as Air Force. Starting with the Indian Army, light, armored as well as heavy mobility vehicles. These orders is likely to benefit auto companies like Ashok Leyland, Tata Motors as well as Bharat Forge. Pralay ballistic missiles as well as integrated surveillance system, that is also positive for BL. In fact, Bharat Electronics, they received orders worth rupees 3,000 crore and now their total order intake that comes to around 14,400 crore in YTD FY24. Remember that the company had given a guidance of around 20,000 crore order wins for FY24. So almost 72% of their order inflow guidance has been met. So it looks to see whether BEL will revise their guidance going forward. On the Indian Navy side, the next generation survey vessels for the Indian Navy, that is positive for shipping companies like Garden Reach, Cochin Shipyard as well as Midhani. And lastly, Indian Air Force avionic upgradation of Dornier aircraft and MKI aircraft that will benefit players like Hindustan Aeronautics as well as Data Patterns. So that's on the defense order update and the companies that will benefit from these orders.
All right, thank you so much for that, Lisa, for actually outlining why the up move that we are seeing in the defense counters. Big boost coming in for Atmanirbharta in the defense sector, with that proposals being actually approved by the DAC. But should you actually look at the sector afresh once again? Let's bring on board our experts today. We have Ashish Maheshwari as well as Kunal Bothra joining us. A very good morning to you, Kunal, as well as Ashish. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Kunal, I'll come first to you. You did speak about PSU Bank Index at length today, but this particular sector, if you talk about defense, among the PSUs, this one has seen spectacular run, just like railways, just like the power sector as well. But do you think that this sort of a news flow, a positive news flow, is one of the reasons why you should look at the sector once again? Or do you think that you should actually give it a skip, given the fact that it's already seen a sharp run up?
Good morning, Cheryl. So, there are two parts to it, and I'll break it up in terms of how the approach should have been maybe a couple of quarters back as well as to the current approach. And I believe a couple of quarters back, when the defense story was getting a bit more stronger, that was a time where it made a lot of sense to go for majority of the stocks, whether it's the high beta and a mix of large cap names or the low beta stocks. But I think looking at the current chart structure for many of the stocks, and I'm talking of the ones which have rallied up significantly high as compared to the ones which have also been underperformers as such relatively in terms of price performance. And I sense that it's now time to get a lot more selective into the defense names. My sense is that sticking to the larger cap names, BEL, HAL, would make a lot of sense because of the beta nature of these stocks, which is extremely moderate to low as compared to the high beta pockets, because that's where I believe that there are some signs of distribution as well as profit booking happening. So the sector may evolve quite strongly over the next many years, but I think at current juncture the risk reward is not favorable to initiate a fresh buy into those mid cap names. It makes sense to start buying the large cap stocks, and in case if the mid caps along the way get into a 20%, 25% correction, that could be a better zone to try and chip into those pockets.
Okay, so at this point in time, not a good time actually to go fresh longs in this particular sector. But with this, let's also go across to Ashish. Ashish, what's your take on the defense counters? Once again, good order coming in for BEL and other counters also in focus. So any of the stock you still like at this point in time? Ashish, your take on the defense counters? Ashish, okay, I guess that we have snapped that line with Ashish for now, but we'll try to get back his take on the defense names.
But before we slipped into the break, we actually spoke about defense in our BNSN Lens segment, and let's go across to Ashish to get his take on the sector. Ashish, if we have you back now, Wanted to know what's your take on the defense space. Do you think that a news-based movement should be a reason why you should buy into the counter, or should you wait before actually making the entry once again?
I think sale on news will be a good strategy whenever defense stock rally we see, because long-term bull run is quite intact, but in short term you are going to see bout of profit taking whenever any announcements take place, because now this is a sector where masses are involved. This is not something that only few people are holding bigger position. Now everybody is playing traders to short-term investors in defense stocks, because some or other news flow keep on coming and keep the sector alive. So in my view, this is not a good time to make a fresh entry. Just wait for some correction. Stocks are good. Even HEL and BEL both are my top picks, which will be these are the two companies major beneficiary out of this 45,000 crore audit. But wait for some correction before a fresh entry.
Okay, wait for some correction before a fresh entry. That's the advice coming in from Ashish as well. So both the experts are believing that for fresh long, this is not the accurate time to go and initiate that one, but selective counters may continue to perform well.